Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity.
And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise. Have you ever tried to do something kind and somehow make it worse? Maybe you brought ice cream to a canned food drive or said yes to 5 volunteer projects in 1 week. Today on Kindness Rising, we're learning how to serve others with both heart and balance, because even good intentions need a little rhythm.
This is Kindness Rising.
Good morning, my friends. Welcome into the Fox Den. This is Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. And this week is Kindness in Action Week. And today we're talking about volunteering and service, how to give back without burning out. We all want to make a difference, but kindness that ignores balance eventually bends out of tune. Service isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things in the right rhythm with the right heart. And right here at Kindness Rising, we always talk about the 6 strings to a well-tuned life. Kindness, balance, action, curiosity, self-awareness, and growth. Today's focus is on kindness and balance. Kindness moves us to health. Balance keeps our kindness sustainable. Together, they create harmony, the kind that changes communities without losing the self in the process.
Please tell me that's not ice cream.
People love ice cream, Cal. It's comforting.
This is a non-perishable drive, sir.
Technically, it's becoming less perishable by the second.
Cal and Stan and even Reggie are getting in on the action at the food drive. We'll check in with them throughout the morning today and see how things are going. I don't think Stan understands the idea of a perishable food drive. A little bit of ice cream. Although Reggie seemed to take advantage of that. I've got cats that need ice cream. Cats will just lick the whipped cream, whatever. I just let them do it. So Reggie apparently is taking some inspiration from our 4 here somehow and is into that ice cream. Volunteering. Let's talk about volunteering. It's one of the most direct ways we turn kindness into action, but it can also be one of the easiest ways to lose balance if we're not careful. So many of us carry that urge to give. We want to lift up others, to serve, to matter. But when we say yes to everything, we stretch the very string that keeps our life in tune. And that's why volunteering isn't just about the kindness string. It's also about the balance string. Kindness gets us moving. Balance makes that kindness sustainable. If you've ever played the guitar, you know you tighten one string too far and it's going to snap. Life works the same way. True service comes from harmony, kindness tuned by balance, grounded in self-awareness, and strengthened by growth. So before you sign up for everything, just pause, ask, where can I give with joy? Where does my rhythm align with my values? When your kindness plays in tune with your balance, your service becomes music worth sharing. Speaking about sharing, let's check into the comments this morning, see how things are going. We've got Lady Drew and Mike Sullivan interacting over here on the vertical. I appreciate you always, always, always. A couple of people who get up and get going in the morning with us, with kindness, with positivity, information, including humor. That's right, Lady Drew. I appreciate you so much, so much. All right. Well, if you're out there, jump into the comments, get involved, talk about the ways that you give back, talk about positive things that are happening in your life to rise above some of the noise of the world. Because let me tell you, every day is a new adventure out there in the world. I understand that. And we have to stay informed, and we have to be informed with balance. But we also have to take breaks from that information. We also have to seek ways to keep ourselves healthy and positive and moving forward in the world that is just crazy. No matter what side of the aisle you sit on, as far as the political aisle, we don't really talk politics regardless of that. You have to admit that the world is just absolutely bananas right now, everywhere you turn. And you can find any argument you want, any form of rage bait that you want out there in the world. If you want to be angry at the world, or you want to be focused on somebody else as the problem, or have a victim mentality, any of that stuff, you can find that out there on the internet, in the world, on YouTube, wherever you want. But why? Why would you do that? Well, instead of being positive and moving forward the best you can in your life, despite or in light of all of the circumstances. That's what we do at Kindness Rising. I'm glad to bring it every morning, 7:30 a.m. weekdays here on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook too. I am streaming. And we always, always, always want to give you a little something to take away with you every day. Some little tidbits, little actions that you can take. We want you to do that. We want you to take your kindness and move it to action, thoughts to action, thoughts to action. This is Kindness in Action Week, and we are talking about these ways. But this is 4 ways to find balance in that drive to give and to get up and get after it. Start small, but start. Every act of service begins with a single note. You don't need to play the whole song. Just strike that first chord with kindness. Your second way to find balance in the drive to grow, or to give, serve with your strengths. Meet real needs. The action string hums best when it's aligned with purpose. When kindness meets clarity, impact multiplies. People can tell when you're being genuine and authentic, and when you're really connected to the subject. Sure, give whatever you can to whatever you can, but when it's aligned to your values, that's when you bring your most authentic self to your work and to your volunteerism. Do it that way, and you will get even more benefit from the giving that you do. Third, build in rest and reflection. Even kindness needs a rest between verses. The self-awareness string reminds us to breathe and to say no when needed. There may be some of you out there who want to do everything, right? They want to be involved in everything, but we want you to find that balance. Good morning, Be Driven. I see you over there in the comments. Thanks for your comment this morning on my YouTube video. I saw it. I appreciate that you're watching. I have been trying to post more regularly, other than going live here at 7:30 a.m. every Monday through Friday. I have been posting regularly, doing a few little videos on my nightly walks, leaning into Sora too. I put up a crazy video. I just cannot believe the technology. It's unbelievable to me. You know that Keith Billis with Mornings in the Lab Network and Keith's show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, are leaning heavy into that. If you haven't had a chance to check out Sora 2, your ability to put your head on things and basically put yourself anywhere. I mean, we are living in the future. There is no question about it. And it can be a little bit interesting, a little bit scary, a little bit like, whoa, what is going on? And I know there are lots of debates about the AI world, but guess what? That train is left the station. We are on it, and we can either be on it, we can be against it, but it's happening, and there's going to be opportunities galore associated with it. There's going to be changes galore, and some of it's going to be painful. I know that it is painful, but hop on board the AI train because it is rolling down the track. Sora 2 is really cool. We use Veo Flow, we use Suno for our music. We've got a pretty decent little tech stack, I guess they say, in the industry going. So anyway, I digress to say the least because I've only gotten through 3 out of the 4 ways to balance your drive to give. The last, remember, service is a duet, not a solo. The growth stream connects us to others. Helping is about harmony, not about heroics. You don't have to jump in and get crazy. I know I've seen a lot of like volunteer efforts break down because of people who are just too overzealous or want to control the situation and have so much impact. Be chill, help others, connect, have some fun. Just showing up is a good place to start. And I'm sure you can find something out there in your world that you'd like to connect with that could use your help. And Cal and Stan thought they would get involved at a food drive. Cal or Stan brought ice cream. I don't know what could possibly be next.
Please tell me that's not ice cream.
People love ice cream, Cal. It's comforting. No labels. No problem. I'll rewrite them. Mystery Chow number 1.
Stan, man, you can't turn a food drive into a game show.
Come on, it adds suspense.
All right. Stan trying to write random labels on the cans. I'm sure we all have good cans story. Trust me, I know I do. I will tell my cans story. It just struck me. I didn't even think about it until just this moment. I will never forget the year. It was 19. I said I'd never forget it, but I can't remember. Probably 95, 96. My sophomore year in college. And one of the most awesome things that we loved in college was my father sending care packages. He was sending the most random crap that you could possibly think, from rubber chickens to audio cassettes of 20 great German beer drinking something. Like just random crap, and people would love to open it. And he'd always send a little food or whatever. So I get a care package. I open it up, and these are back in the days when you didn't have. There's a can in there labeled oyster chowder. I'm like, oh my God, oyster chowder. What could this possibly be? I opened up this can, and when I tell you the stench and the color was not natural, it was not normal. I can't even begin to describe it. John Romano, if you're watching, or if you're watching later, I know you're going to remember this story because you were right there when I opened that can. It was the nastiest thing I ever smelled. I can't even describe it. But anyway, after gagging and getting rid of it, we looked at the can, and it was dated from 1968 or 1969. It was like a 30-plus-year-old can of oyster chowder that we surmise came from my grandmother, who died in 1988's kitchen somehow. But that's my story of canned goods. Let me tell you, it was an adventure. I don't know why I told the story, because it came to me. Yeah, 30-year-old oyster chowder is definitely not appetizing. All right. So we'll see what happens with Cal and Stan and their mystery chowder, but we are going to move along here to hello, Marty McFly. We know who you are. You're sending out good vibes to us. I appreciate you, Marty McFly. Absolutely. All right. Kindness spotlight. We're going to talk about our kindness spotlight. We always shine the light on organizations that are doing good work for good people and proving that kindness scales from one person lending a hand to entire movements that change lives. And so I'm going to try once again in my infinite gluttony for new fun things. I'm going to try to jump in and show you some websites. Do, 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 do. I think maybe people are seeing this website. It's fun. It's probably an easier and smoother way to do that, but that's the way I did it. I'm talking about Feeding America today. Feeding America is the nation's largest hunger relief network, connecting more than 200 food banks and 60,000 local partners to fight food insecurity across every state. Each year, they provide billions of meals to families, seniors, and children's in need, but their mission goes beyond filling plates. They work to reduce food waste, to strengthen nutrition and to nutrition programs, and to advocate for policy changes that address the root cause of hunger. When you volunteer at a local pantry or donate to your community food drive, you're already part of this bigger system, proof that small acts of kindness echo far beyond your zip code. That is Feeding America. Okay. I had a collector item. What does that mean? Matthew, you had a collector item. Oh, the oyster stew. Is that what you're talking about, Lady Drew? Checking out into the comments. Sorry, I'm also working through the buttons. My mother tells me not to apologize, but yet here I am apologizing again. Good Lord. Okay. I think everybody can see me and hear me. It feels like maybe that's pretty natural right there. There's a weird screen thing. Oh, all right, we did it. All right, see, fight through it and get through it. I do have another organization to spotlight because we always spotlight a couple of places, a couple of organizations that are doing good work for good people. This one is one you probably remember. Again, regardless of your political affiliations, it's an important organization that was founded by President George H.W. Bush. He called it his 1,000 Points of Light. And the 1,000 Points of Light organization has become a global hub for volunteerism and civic engagement. Points of Light empowers individuals, nonprofits, and businesses to turn good intentions into measurable impact through programs like the Civic Circle and the Points of Light Global Network. They help millions of people find meaningful ways to serve, from mentoring youth to disaster response. Their mission is simple but profound: to make volunteering not just an act, but a habit. That's the Points of Life Foundation, started by President George H.W. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. How's everything else going? Yes, I had a collector's item in that oyster stew. That thing was crazy. I can still picture the can. It was blue with red writing. Oyster stew, like whoever would have never would have thought. First of all, the oyster stew in a can existed in the 60s. Just I don't know. Weird. All right. I had my coffee. I'm changing gears here. We're doing all right. We always talk about branding here at Good Morning, everyone. Coffee improving this morning for sure. Yes, definitely, Mom. Good morning. I taking it a little casual today, I think, and also just going with the flow. We always talk about branding here on Kindness Rising, and usually I talk about our EAT program: experience, expertise, authenticity, trust, and entertainment, our 5-ingredient recipe for personal branding. But today I want to take a little different focus about branding. A lot of people associate branding with logos, and absolutely, your logo is an essential part of who you are and the message that you send out to the world. And I want to talk about the Kindness Rising logo a little bit, so that every time you see the fox, the Kindness Rising fox, you see our logos, you can think about what it really is saying to the world. There's something simple but powerful happening in that logo. The calm little fox with his coffee mug sitting in front of a rising sun. It's not just cute branding, it's a story about how we start our day. The yellow fox, the yellow heart on the fox's chest, that's the center of everything. It's the warmth, it's the friendship, it's the energy of the morning, hope, clarity, and light. The heart reminds us that kindness isn't passive, it's radiant, and it spreads like sunlight. Compare that to our other logo. This is the Uncommon Kindness logo, which is connected to the Kindness Rising logo. It's just the fox's face framed by the yellow heart, but it feels more inward. It's intentional. Uncommon kindness is what we practice within ourselves. Kindness Rising is what happens when that inner light steps out into the world. Together, they tell one story. The heart becomes the sun, and the warmth inside becomes action on the outside. So every time you see that fox, I hope you'll think of Kindness Rising, and you'll think about the reasons behind that. Get up with clarity, with positivity, to rise above and to connect to the 6 strings: kindness, balance. The way that fox sits is grounded but alert. Curiosity, his eyes are going to open up on a brand new day. Action, the coffee mug gets us ready to move, and self-awareness, his smile, a calm smile centered in who we are. And lastly, the growth, the rising sun behind it all. Every part of our logo is tuned to a string in our daily life. When those 6 strings are in harmony, kindness doesn't exist, it rises. So next time you see the yellow heart or a little fox, remember, it's not just a logo, it's a compass for how we live. If you'll stay warm, stay aware, act with kindness, and rise. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, we saw that Cal and Stan had a couple of misadventures. Let's see what happens here in our last moment.
I guess helping isn't about what we think people need. It's about actually listening first.
Yeah. Turns out service works better when you read the label.
Well, I think Reggie found a label that he really likes at the canned food drive, and Cal and Stan continue to learn. We'll talk a little bit about, what they learned. They learned to listen and read the label, which means kind of understand what's going on before you get into it, right? So that's Cal and Stan for the day. Let's talk a little bit about some context for the conversation. Usually you have the context conversation at the beginning to allow people to kind of understand what we're doing. I reversed it today, apparently. We're going to do the context for volunteering, what's going on in the world right now with regard to volunteering and the trends that are happening in the world. You remember those early pandemic days, neighbors helping neighbors, people were checking in on their strangers, communities, they were organizing food drives and mutual aid. was a thing. Yeah. So the surprising part right for now is that wave of kindness didn't vanish when the world reopened after the pandemic. According to the World Happiness Report, people are still about 10% more likely to donate or volunteer than before 2020. And helping strangers is up 18%. Even after all the chaos, we're still being more kind than we used to be. Why did that happen? Psychologists say it was partly because crisis stripped away the illusion that we're separate. We saw each other's vulnerability, and that opened the door to empathy. Acts of kindness make us feel better too, right? They activate the same parts of the brain that light up when we have joy or we have connection. Kindness literally rewards itself. And once enough people start doing it, it becomes contagious. It shifts what's normal. That's the heart of the benevolence bump. Kindness is a new cultural baseline. It's actually a terminology maybe you'll hear a little bit more from me. I'm learning about it. It's called the benevolence bump, which is a great term, but basically it's that increasing need to feel connected and doing so through doing kind acts. I think it's an amazing thing. It's what we lean into here on Kindness Rising. I know it's part of what they lean into at Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. They're going to be coming up right here at the top of the hour with their show and continuing the positive, get up, get after it, don't hit the snooze button type energy over there on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And you know, when we talk about service, it's easy to think of all about giving to others, but it's also releasing the pressure to prove ourselves. We live in a culture that tells men to climb, to compete and conquer, to be the top dog in every arena. But real fulfillment doesn't come from being above people. It comes from being with people. Volunteering reminds us of that. When you stop chasing status and start participating, you trade comparison for connection. And that's exactly where Keith is going next with why trying to be the top dog is making men miserable. Because when kindness replaces competition, men just don't feel better. We live better. So get on over, check out Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, and they will help you to continue the vibe of getting up and getting after it, just like we do every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. right here on Kindness Rising. I appreciate everybody who came out. The OGs are out. We got Mike Sullivan, Be Driven, Lady Drew, Roseanne Roof, the whole crew. Mom, I appreciate that you come out every day. If you're out there in the community, don't forget, if you're watching this on demand, don't forget to hit subscribe. Join me every morning, 7:30 a.m. for Kindness Rising right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Service is how we give back. Balance is how we keep giving. Whether it's sorting cans, mentoring, or simply showing up for someone, find your rhythm of kindness. Have a great day, everyone. And as we always say, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.